Recently, I showed you how to execute C# files directly by using the dotnet run command, thus turning C# into almost a scripting language. But one bit of pushback was that you could not just double-click a C# file and have it run directly. You had to use the dotnet run command. Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to just double-click the file and execute it directly. Now, for most of my training, I work to give an in-depth perspective on technology. But sometimes you just need a quick answer to the question, how do I do this? That's why I created this 10-minute training series. So let's figure out how to auto-run our C# file. Now, I have two files here. I have the hello.cs and I have this batch file. This batch file is how we're going to make this work. I'll show you how to do that. So first of all, let's look at the hello file. So we're just going to say .NET run hello cs, like so. And we get hello world. Okay, so that's all the C# file does. Now, that's how we would run this like a script, just say .NET run in the C# file. And if you missed that video, you can go back and watch. There's more nuance to this, but this is really simple how you can just execute one file without a CS proj file. But let's take it to the next step and let's see if we can't double click on this file and have it execute. To do that, we're going to use this batch file. Now, if you want this batch file, it's down in the description of this video. There's a link. We can email it to you. But let's look at what this file looks like. This is the entire file right here. So we're going to turn the echo off. We're going to change to the current directory that you're in, the file's in. We're going to do the .NET run command, and the parameter here is the file you clicked on. And the last thing here is we're going to pause the terminal. That way, if you don't have a console read line at the end, then the terminal doesn't go away. Like our example doesn't have a console read line at the end. It ends the program. And so if you're opening a terminal just to run this, it would close it again immediately. You'd see a flash and you wouldn't actually see anything happen. Now, if you just want that to happen, you don't want it to stop, and you don't want the window to stay open, then you can just take out the pause command and delete that. Now, this batch file on its own, it's not easy to run because you have to pass in a parameter that is the file name. But if we right click on this file and we say open with, choose another app, and we select down here the file. Now, if you don't see it, you're not going to see it at first. You can scroll down to the bottom and say choose an app on your PC. You're going to find that batch file. I put mine in applications. I got a few applications that I just copy to other machines, like Zoom it. So select that, and now it's at the top of the list, or it's on the list here, and say always. Now notice this is what pops up when you double click the file. Let me just hit the enter key, and now we're going to double click on hello.cs. There we go. That's what it executes. Now, if you say, yeah, but I want to go back to open up VS Code, you can only have one action that happens on double click. If you want a different thing to happen, you can either right click and say open with and choose, say, VS Code, and there you go. There's the file. But if you would prefer, you can right click, say open with, choose another app. Then you can select VS Code and say always, and that will reset it back to being VS Code or Visual Studio or whatever you want to be the default, to say always. So with that, we can now double click on a file and execute it. So that's only works in Windows, but there are similar things you can probably do in a Mac or Linux environment. But for Windows, now you can just double click on any CS file you want. As long as it's set up to run as a standalone file, then you'll have an experience like this where it pops open, it runs, you'll see the output, and you just hit any key to close it. And again, if you turn off or delete that pause line, then it won't pause. It'll just flash and go away, which might be great for things you want to run in the background or you want to process, etc. So that's how you do it. Really simple. All right. I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching. As always, I am Tim Corey.